My theory, Adam Silver says, I don't know what to do with players not playing. And we showed this earlier. I said, no All-Star games, no awards, no scoring titles. 85% of games on the schedule have to be played. That'll give you a 2-week injury. Otherwise, bonuses for scoring titles out, All-Star games out. Now, here's my first team based on that criteria. It's not terrible. Trae Young, DeMar DeRozan, Jason Tatum, Jokic, the MVP. Now, Wiggins, you say, oh, now by the second team, it gets a little cringy for those. But again, they meet the criteria. LaMelo, Anthony Edwards, Tobias Harris, Julius Randle, Karl Anthony Towns. And you can go, whoa. How do you solve it? Like, how do you, to me, players have bonuses. It means a lot to be All-NBA. It means a ton to be MVP. Sam, when the commissioners, like, we have a major problem. I know the owners. I know one NBA owner. They are beside themselves. It is a massive problem. What does the NBA do?
Honestly, I love the philosophy behind your idea, Colin. I feel like the percentage threshold would probably have to be lower. And maybe that's negotiation, right? You got to start high and work your way from there. Because those teams you just showed me are a little crunchy. And to Joy's point earlier, though, you do, change is prompted and inspired sometimes by, kind of making the other side feel the pain. So if you had 1 year of pretty tough to kind of take all NBA teams, maybe that gets it done. In general, I'm with you. I think that, participation matters a great deal. I've always been that way when it comes to voting for MVP and all these different awards. The other thing that kind of speaks to availability is that we always talk about obviously shortening the season. And the league will, I don't think, ever do it. But we saw during the pandemic when they went to 72 games that there was a value that came with that. So, that's where the players are going to look at them and say, you want us out there a higher percentage of the time, then put us on the floor less often.
So we have the playoffs starting in a week from tomorrow, play-in game Tuesday. Phoenix is the best team I've seen in the league.
Right.
Their chemistry is fantastic. Now, they're not always a great three-point shooting team. Do you think Phoenix is vulnerable at all in the playoffs?
Honestly, I don't. And I wrote about this today. I mean, everybody's got their foibles and their weaknesses, but I do think we are overlooking how dominant they've been. Just to throw a little bit of a historical stat at you, Colin, the teams that have been up at least 7+ games on the rest of the field, the second best team in the league, since the merger, ABA-NBA in 1976, all 7 teams that had at least a 7-game cushion between the second best team have gone on to win the championship.
Wow.
The Suns are right now up 8 on Memphis, and to me, that does matter. They're far and away the best team in the league. More importantly for me, and I've been around them a decent amount lately, you hit on their chemistry and the way they bond and kind of the camaraderie. This group is kind of running deep together. They're special on the floor. Chris Paul being back is huge. Devin Booker, obviously great. Ayton kind of out to prove that he's worth that max deal. To me, it's the Suns and everybody else.
Yeah. I still buy Milwaukee. I think they have a great culture. I do think when you win a title, everybody pulls back a little in the regular season. When Brooks Lopez was out, I thought it was clear they missed his size. I think Chris Middleton, I trust more now than I did a year ago. I think Giannis is – I think Milwaukee, I don't think the chemistry is nearly as good in Philadelphia or in Brooklyn. Is Milwaukee your standalone Eastern favorite to you?
Boston is up there. The Robert Williams injury is massive, so that takes some of the shine off where you feel like their ceiling is. But the Celtics defense, I'm a sucker for playoff time. Show me the defensive metrics and the numbers. That's going to, get you pretty far in the postseason. But Milwaukee, and having covered them closely all through the finals last year, talked to Giannis a couple weeks ago, like that energy that you're alluding to is 100% intact with Giannis and the whole group. They are, to some degree, coasting through this regular season. The Brook Lopez absence was big. They got depth when it comes to the front line now, which matters a great deal. A lot of these teams, in the last couple of years have been tripped up by not having enough, backup bigs, and they're really good in that department with Bobby Portis. And, Serge Ibaka can't even get on the floor right now. So Milwaukee is good, and they do have that thing that comes with winning a title, right? Like you don't wonder what it feels like and how you get the job done once you've done it.
So what would you do I mean, you can fire Frank Vogel. Joe and I were talking about this the other day. I saw Frank Vogel take Roy Hibbert, George Hill, and Paul George and give the Heatles fits for 4 years. I think he can coach.
Right.
I saw all the old teams in the bubble erode, and the Lakers were the only old team that played great. I don't think Frank Vogel's the issue, but whatever.
Right.
The NBA, unlike the NFL, where you can really go bad to pretty darn good in like an off season, you can go from bad to great Bengals in like 2 seasons.
Yep.
It is hard to trade your way out of this mess. Is there light at the end of the tunnel for the Lakers?
No, I really don't think so. You used the word leverage earlier, talking about the LA market, and every point you made was on point. Had me kind of wanting to leave my home in Sacramento and go buy a place in LA and double my own net worth. You know what I mean? But you also, in terms of the NBA and the way it actually operates, you say leverage, you got to have levers when it comes to the salary cap, when it comes to actual, options within the construct of the CBA to improve your roster. And right now for the Lakers, when you sit there and map out a way out of the darkness, those levers do not exist by and large. A lot of the options available to other teams, not just being cap restrained, but the way they are structured makes it really, really hard. I'm wondering now, we don't know what will happen with Russell Westbrook, of course, but talked to a lot of people in the last week about their opinions just from other teams. And there's part of me that says they almost need to ride it out and try to run it back with him next year and then build around him, because the danger for them, I know LeBron's coming up on, the end of this incredible career, but you can't be out there just giving up more first-round picks just to get off Russ's $47 million and not taking, the future into account. So that's where, if you're Rob Pelinka and Kurt Rambis, who are running that front office, this is not an enviable offseason by any means.
Sam Amick, The Athletic, he's got an article on the Suns. We're kind of conjoined on that. Fun to watch. Great seeing you. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, Colin. Appreciate you.
You bet. Yeah, no, how do you